Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're embarking on a journey into a really fascinating area. DLB-08 Iron Shirt Chi Kung III, Bone Marrow Nei Kung by Master Mantak Chia. Our goal is to pull out the core ideas of this ancient Taoist practice and really understand what it could mean for you.
That's right. We've looked at a wide range of material, from specific breathing and energy compression techniques that target your bones, to practices around cultivating sexual energy, and even some, well, surprising methods involving hitting the body.
Yeah, hitting.
Exactly. This goes way beyond just physical exercise. It's a holistic approach aimed at boosting your fundamental life force, or qi as the Taoists call it, and potentially influencing how you experience the aging process.
Absolutely. And what struck me looking through the sources you shared was just how comprehensive it is. We're talking about detailed ways to breathe into your bones,
Mhm.
specific massage techniques for men and women focused on sexual energy, different hitting methods using specialized tools, and this advanced practice called chi weightlifting. Plus, there's the underlying philosophy and a set of really important supporting practices that tie everything together. Ever considered that the health of your bones might be about more than just calcium? Or that the energy we associate with intimacy could be a key to your overall vitality? This deep dive is all about exploring those surprising connections for you.
Okay, so let's start at the very beginning. Bone marrow Nei Kung itself. What's the central idea behind this practice?
At its heart, bone marrow Nei Kung is about revitalizing your bone marrow. The thinking is that by using specific methods, you can boost the production of blood and, crucially, nourish your fundamental life energy, or qi, right from that core level.
Mm-hmm.
Think of your bone marrow as the factory of your vitality. This practice aims to supercharge that factory, leading to not just better blood production, but a fundamental increase in your resilience and energy reserves, something you might notice in your ability to recover faster or, experience sustained energy throughout the day.
Precisely. And while this might seem like a new concept to many in the West, its roots go back thousands of years in China. It's only in more recent times that these holistic Taoist approaches, which really emphasize the connection between your body, mind, and spirit, have begun to gain wider recognition here.
And the Taoist view on aging and even mortality is quite different from what many of us in the West are used to, isn't it?
It really is. Taoist philosophy suggests that aging and the end of life aren't necessarily just inevitable declines dictated by the clock. Instead, it proposes that our choices, our understanding, and how we nurture our internal energies can significantly shape these processes.
Hmm.
There's a belief in having more agency than we often realize, that we can influence our longevity and that our bodies don't have to simply deteriorate over time. They believe we have far more control than we typically realize, that we can choose to live longer, basically, and that our bodies don't have to deteriorate as a mere effect of time passing.
That's a really empowering perspective. And central to this whole idea is qi. Can you explain what qi is from a Taoist standpoint?
Yeah, qi is a really encompassing term. Essentially, it refers to the fundamental electromagnetic energy that Taoists believe flows through the entire universe and makes up everything.
Right.
They see it as the essential nourishment drawn from sources like the food we eat, the air we breathe, and even celestial influences. Importantly, our bodies also generate qi internally, mainly through our organs and glands. This energy isn't just inside us, it also radiates outward as part of our overall energetic presence.
And the concept of yin and yang, how does that relate to qi and our well-being?
Ah, the balance of yin and yang is absolutely key for healthy bodily function. Think of yin and yang as two sides of the same coin. You need both for things to work properly. Yin is often associated with the cooler, more receptive feminine aspects, while yang is seen as the warmer, more active masculine aspects. We all have both, but often there can be an imbalance. Maintaining harmony between yin and yang within ourselves is crucial, because an imbalance can lead to negative health effects. You might notice an imbalance as feeling easily agitated, maybe too much yang, or constantly fatigued, perhaps too much yin.
Okay, so we have this foundational understanding of qi and the importance of yin and yang. Now let's get into some of the core practices. Bone breathing sounds really interesting. What's the basic idea there?
Bone breathing is a meditative practice where you consciously draw energy qi from your surroundings and direct it into your skeletal system. The visualization is really important here. You imagine inhaling energy through your fingertips and toes, and then visualizing it spiraling around within your bones.
Spiraling, that sounds like a specific way the energy moves.
It is. There are essentially three stages to bone breathing. You begin by focusing on breathing energy in through your fingertips, then you move on to breathing in through your toes, and eventually you practice both at the same time.
Both together.
Yeah, the aim is to really open up the pathways within the bones to allow this energy to circulate more freely.
And bone compression, how does that differ from bone breathing?
Well, while bone breathing is more of a mental and energetic process linked to your breath, bone compression is a physical technique. It involves contracting your muscles in specific areas to physically squeeze and direct the accumulated qi into your bones.
Ah, okay.
The sequence is to inhale, visualize the energy spiraling around the targeted bone, mentally focus and pack the energy in the space between the muscles and the bone, and then physically contract the muscles to compress the qi into the bone marrow through tiny openings in the bone.
Wow.
The key here for you is to understand that we're not just squeezing muscles. We're consciously directing energy to a deep foundational level within your body. Think of it as micro-targeting areas of stagnation to re-energize them from the inside out.
So unlike regular breathing, you're not exhaling the qi during bone compression. You hold it.
That's correct. The focus during bone compression is on holding and directing the inhaled and spiraled qi into the specific part of your body you're working on. It stays there within that targeted area until you actively compress it into the skeletal structure.
And there are specific areas of the body you focus on for this practice. Like, where do you actually do this?
Yes, quite a few. The practice details breathing into and compressing energy in your hands, your arms, specifically the upper arm bone, humerus, the shoulder blades, scapulae, and the C7 vertebra at the base of your neck.
You said, okay.
Your legs, including the thigh bone, femur, hip bones, the sacrum at the base of your spine, and the entire spine. You also work with your collarbone, sternum, and ribs. The book provides detailed instructions on how to perform bone compression on each of these areas, from individual limbs to the lower and upper back, even the bones of your skull and your rib cage.
That gives us a really good understanding of these foundational practices. Now let's move on to something that might sound a bit more unusual to some. Sexual energy massage. What's the purpose behind this?
Okay, yeah. The main purpose of sexual energy massage for both men and women is to release what's known as qing qi. This term essentially encompasses both sexual energy and the hormones associated with it.
Qing qi.
The goal is to liberate this potent energy so it can circulate throughout your body and be absorbed into your bones, contributing to overall rejuvenation. This isn't just about physical sexuality, it's about harnessing a potent life force that can manifest as an increased creativity, mental clarity, and a stronger sense of vitality, something you might notice as a newfound zest for life or enhanced focus.
And why is this sexual energy considered so important for our overall well-being? From the Taoist perspective, I mean.
Well, the Taoist perspective is that qing qi is a fundamental life force. Releasing and circulating it is seen as crucial for replenishing not just the reproductive organs themselves, but also for nourishing your entire system through what's called the microcosmic orbit, which we'll touch on in a moment.
The orbit.
Right. This circulation helps to revitalize your organs and glands, which in turn contributes to a greater sense of energy and overall health.
You mentioned the power lock. What exactly is that, and how does it relate to the sexual energy massage?
The power lock is a specific exercise involving the conscious contraction of the muscles in your perineum, which is the area between your genitals and your anus itself.
Okay.
It's performed both before and after the sexual energy massage. The action of contracting and drawing upward helps to pull the released qing qi upward through specific energy centers along your spine, the sacrum at the base, the T11 vertebra in your mid-back, C7 at the base of your neck, the base of your skull, and finally the crown of your head.
So it moves the energy up.
Exactly. And clenching your teeth and buttocks during this process is believed to further activate what are called the cranial pump and sacral pump, helping to assist the energy's upward movement.
And there's a preliminary cloth massage that's part of this practice as well, right?
Yep.
Before the main massage.
Yes. Before you get into the specific massage techniques, there's a gentle preliminary cloth massage that both men and women perform. This involves using a soft silk cloth to make gentle circular motions on the genitals, the perineum, the coccyx or tailbone, and the sacrum.
Silk cloth, interesting.
Yeah, the idea is to prepare the area, stimulate the flow of qi, and enhance the production of qing qi, making the subsequent massage more effective.
Let's get into the specifics for men. What are some of the techniques involved in the men's sexual energy massage?
For men, the techniques include a detailed finger massage of the testicles using various gentle grips and pressures. There's also a palm massage of the testicles, as well as specific gentle rubbing and stretching of the spermatic ducts to help them elongate.
Elongate the ducts.
Yes, that's the term used. Another technique involves gently stretching the tendons of the scrotum and penis. Finally, there's a light tapping of the testicles. After these techniques, resting and consciously focusing your breath are important for absorbing the released energy.
And what about the specific steps for women's sexual energy massage?
For women, it includes a comprehensive breast massage, which involves not only the breast tissue itself, but also focusing on specific glands and organs in the area that are believed to accumulate qi.
Okay.
There's also a practice sometimes referred to as the internal egg exercise, which uses a smooth jade egg inserted into the vagina.
The jade egg, I've heard of that.
Right. This exercise involves consciously engaging and contracting the 3 distinct sections of the vaginal canal to strengthen these muscles and cultivate energy. After using the egg, there's a specific gentle removal process and a subsequent massage.
Okay, that's quite a range of techniques for both men and women.
Yeah.
Now let's shift our focus to something that sounds quite different, hitting. This sounds, well, direct. What are the different forms of hitting described in the sources?
The book describes 2 main categories of hitting. The first category is primarily aimed at promoting internal health, although it can also have some external benefits.
Internal health.
Right. Within this first category, there are 3 specific methods. The first is hitting with packing, which combines the bone breathing and compression techniques we discussed earlier with the act of hitting.
Combining them.
Yes. The second is hitting to detoxify, which focuses solely on using vibrations to cleanse the internal system without any prior packing of qi. And the third method within this first category involves hitting with rattan sticks, which is used to provide external stimulation.
Okay, and the second main category of hitting you mentioned, what's that for?
The second main category is specifically hitting with rattan sticks, and its primary goal is to improve the health of your nervous and lymphatic systems and to strengthen the skin and other external tissues of your body.
So more external focus.
Exactly. In this method, there's no direct hitting of the bones, and the energy packing technique isn't used.
What kind of equipment is used for these different hitting practices? It's not just your hands.
No, usually not. For creating the vibrations in the first form of hitting, a special tool made of a bundle of flexible wires is recommended. It's typically around 100 to 110 pieces of flexible wire bound together at one end to create a whisk-like implement.
Like a wire whisk. Wow.
Sort of, yeah. For women, a lighter version with fewer wires might be preferable. Alternatively, a long bean bag filled with mung beans or black beans can be used, primarily to absorb excess heat rather than generate strong vibrations.
A bean bag.
For the hitting with rattan sticks method, lightweight hardwood sticks, usually 2 held and used together, are used to create a percussive effect.
It sounds like there's a very specific way you're supposed to approach these hitting techniques. You don't just whack away, I assume.
Absolutely not. The book emphasizes beginning gently, especially if you're new to this, and paying very close attention to how your body responds. For hitting with packing, the sequence is to first inhale, spiral, pack, and squeeze qi into the specific area you're targeting. And then, while maintaining that feeling of compression, you gently hit along the meridian lines in that area.
So pack first, then hit.
Correct. For hitting to detoxify, there's no packing involved. You simply use the vibrations of the wire tool or the bean bag along the designated energy pathways. When using rattan sticks, the focus is on external stimulation for the nervous and lymphatic systems and the skin, so you avoid hitting directly on bones, and packing isn't part of this method.
So it sounds like the underlying principle here, for you, is to use targeted stimulation to encourage energy flow and detoxification in specific areas, almost like a form of internal massage using vibration or gentle impact.
That's a good way to put it, yes. Targeted stimulation.
Are there specific areas of the body that are targeted during the hitting practice? Where do you hit?
Yes, there are very specific sequences. For the abdomen, you focus on key energy centers like the Tian, which is about 2 inches below your navel, the navel itself, and the Mingmen point on your back, opposite the navel.
Tian, Mingmen.
Okay. There are also sequences for your back, the sides of your body, your rib cage, your sternum and collarbone, your head and jaw, with important precautions like gently clenching your teeth.
Clench your teeth.
Yes, protects the jaw and head. Then various meridian lines that run along your arms and legs and even the soles of your feet.
And it sounds like there were some really important precautions to keep in mind when considering these hitting techniques, besides starting gently.
Definitely. It's crucial to avoid hitting your spinal cord directly. Very important. When you're working around your head and neck, gently clenching your teeth is advised as a protective measure. It's also recommended not to practice hitting on a full stomach wait at least 2 hours after eating.
Good tip.
And resting, making sure you stay well hydrated after a hitting session, are also important for supporting the detoxification process.
Now, chi weightlifting sounds like a really advanced practice.
Yeah.
What's the primary purpose behind it?
Chi weightlifting is definitely considered an advanced technique. It's aimed at strengthening the fasciae, which are the connective tissues that surround your organs and glands, as well as the urogenital and pelvic diaphragms.
Okay, get the fascia.
Right. It's also believed to stimulate the production of sexual hormones, which in Taoist thought are closely linked to anti-aging effects.
And this literally involves lifting weights using, well, specific parts of the body, is it what it sounds like?
Yes, it is. It involves attaching weights to the genitals to create an upward flow of qi. However, the book strongly emphasizes, and I mean strongly emphasizes, that this practice should only be attempted after you've thoroughly mastered the massage techniques and ideally received personal guidance from a qualified instructor within the universal Tao system.
Right. Qualified instruction seems crucial here.
Absolutely essential.
What kind of preparation is involved before someone even considers chi weightlifting?
There are preparatory exercises for both men and women that are designed to increase your qi and kidney energy. The power lock exercise and the cloth massage we discussed earlier are also important foundational practices.
The silk cloth again?
Well, the cloth massage is part of it. For men, the specific sexual energy massage techniques help to prepare the genitals. For women, breast massage, massage of specific glands and organs in the abdominal area, and optionally, the internal egg exercise are part of the preparatory work.
And how are the weights actually attached to the body for this practice?
For men, a cloth is typically used to securely attach the weight. There's a specific technique for folding and tying a strong cloth around the base of the penis and testicles with the knot positioned beneath the perineum.
Okay.
For women, if they choose to use weights, it often involves attaching a string to a jade egg and then connecting that string to the weight.
And what does the weightlifting process itself actually look like? You just lift.
It begins with gently swinging the weight to get a sense of its pull and to begin directing energy upward, eventually progressing to actually lifting it. The goal isn't just brute strength, though.
No.
No, the goal is to engage the power of the microcosmic orbit, that circuit of energy flowing through the front and back of your torso, and in more advanced stages, to utilize the strength of your internal organs, like your kidneys, spleen, liver, lungs, heart, thymus, and the pituitary and pineal glands to assist in lifting the weight and enhancing that upward flow of energy.
Wow, using your organs to lift. That's something.
It's a very internal process, yeah. Imagine a circuit of energy flowing through the front and back of your torso along specific pathways. The microcosmic orbit meditation helps open and strengthen that circuit, allowing energy to circulate more freely, which is fundamental to the benefits of these other practices.
It sounds like there are some very serious warnings and contraindications associated with chi weightlifting.
Yeah.
Like things you absolutely shouldn't do.
Absolutely. Extremely important. For men, it's crucial to avoid ejaculation during the practice as it disperses the energy you're trying to cultivate.
Right.
For women, a specific energetic technique called the orgasmic draw should be fully mastered beforehand to properly manage the energy flow. Both men and women should avoid this practice entirely during menstruation if they have any vaginal infections, during pregnancy, or immediately after any sexual activity.
Okay, that's a lot to keep in mind.
And proper technique is absolutely essential to prevent any potential injury. The book also provides detailed recommendations for what to do after the practice, such as specific massage techniques, hitting certain areas, resting adequately, and staying hydrated.
You've mentioned several supplemental practices that support all of this. Can you give us a quick overview of some of the most important ones, like the microcosmic orbit you mentioned?
Yes, these supporting practices are really vital to the entire system. The inner smile is a meditation focused on cultivating positive emotions and directing that loving energy towards your internal organs and glands. Very gentle, very foundational.
Inner smile.
Okay. The microcosmic orbit meditation, as we touched on, is crucial for learning how to circulate and store energy within your body. It's actually considered a prerequisite for starting bone marrow Nei Kung. You need that pathway open.
Makes sense.
Healing love practices focus on consciously retaining and transforming sexual energy for healing and stimulating brain function. Iron Shirt Qi Kung's Ger, which is a foundational practice in the universal Tao system that often comes before bone marrow Nei Kung, is all about learning to pack qi into your fascia, your body's connective tissue.
Oh, and sure, okay.
And finally, the 6 healing sounds are a set of specific subvocal sounds that correspond to your major organs: lungs, kidneys, liver, heart, spleen, and the triple warmer meridian, and help with detoxification and balancing your energy.
6 healing sounds.
Okay,
So how does someone actually put all of these different practices together into a workable routine? It sounds like a lot.
it can seem like it. The book offers a sample training schedule that includes incorporating the inner smile, microcosmic orbit meditation, bone breathing and compression exercises, sexual energy massage with the option of including chai weightlifting if you're properly trained,
Trained, yeah.
hitting techniques, and the practice of the 6 healing sounds. The emphasis is really on starting gradually, paying close attention to what your body is telling you, and making sure you have a good grasp of the foundational practices before moving on to the more advanced ones.
Don't jump ahead.
Exactly. There's also a degree of flexibility built in, encouraging you to adapt the practice to fit your own available time and individual needs. And there are even some considerations discussed for how you might be able to continue some of these practices while traveling.
This has been an incredibly thorough deep dive into bone marrow Nei Kung. Wow. What would you say are the most important key takeaways for our listeners?
Well, I think the main thing to understand is that bone marrow Nei Kung is presented as a very comprehensive and interconnected system for cultivating your internal energy, strengthening your body from a very deep, fundamental level, the marrow itself, and potentially influencing your vitality and the way you age.
Mm-hmm.
From the subtle practice of bone breathing all the way to the more advanced techniques like sexual energy cultivation and qi weightlifting, the core principle is about consciously tapping into and directing your body's inherent life force, your qi, for greater overall well-being and resilience.
It definitely offers a very different way of thinking about health and longevity. It really makes you wonder, could these ancient Taoist practices offer you a completely new perspective on your own health? Perhaps allowing you to access a deeper source of vitality within your very bones in ways that go beyond what conventional approaches typically address.
That really is the intriguing thought, isn't it? And this raises a really important point for everyone listening. If you found this deep dive intriguing and you're interested in exploring these ideas further, we strongly recommend seeking out qualified instructors in your local area for personalized guidance, especially before you consider attempting any of the more advanced practices like qi weightlifting. Seriously, find someone qualified.
Absolutely. Professional guidance is key. So what aspects of this discussion stood out to you the most? We'd really like to hear your thoughts and any follow-up questions you might have as you continue to explore this fascinating ancient practice. Thanks for taking the deep dive with us today.